Welcome to Click of Heels, your number one spicy dancer community where we ensure all strippers are set up for success. I'm your host, Angel Torres, and each week we dive deep into the world of exotic dance, offering tips, advice, and stories to empower and inspire. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this is your go-to resource for all things in the dancer community. Please like and follow us on all of our platforms as it helps us grow our community. And if you would like to be on an episode, please email me at clickofheels@gmail.com. Stay powerful. Let's get into it. On this episode, we're going deep into the mind of strip club door girls. I have two lovely guests today, Nauticia, the lovely lady in the yellow, and we have Cassie, the lovely lady in the Dodgers uniform today.
I love you, but that's not my name.
Wait, what? Girl.
It's okay because we go by aliases.
Oh, okay.
Nautica. My name is Nautica.
Oh my God, y'all. That's what it's in my phone. I pronounced it wrong. I ain't shit. Okay.
No. I was just saying that so that way throughout the podcast.
Nautica.
Yes.
Nautica. Y'all, this is Nautica and Cassie. And they are going to introduce themselves properly and give us the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. We'll start off with Nautica.
Hi, guys. I'm Nautica. I don't know if we're saying specifically where we work, but I'm a door girl at a gentleman's club. I've done it for about 3.5 years now, and I actually really love it. So, yeah.
Awesome. What about you?
And I'm Cassie. I've been doing it almost for a year, and I enjoy it. It's never boring, so let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Boring. Not even being in the front, never boring.
Right, we get to see everything.
Yeah.
So when did y'all decide to join the industry and why?
Yeah, so I had went to school before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and you just changed so much. I was 19 when I moved to Dallas, and I think the pandemic really kind of ended in 2022. And I just really needed a job. My sister had kind of started working at a club, and then I was like, well, if there's a job available, I need a job, so I'll do whatever. So I started hosting, just kind of Red Room is what we call it. It's VIP rooms at our club. And then slowly moved my way up to door girl. And yeah, that's how I kind of got into the industry.
So for me, I was working for call centers for healthcare insurance. I had been doing it for maybe I don't know, too long, 7.5 years. And I just got tired of it. I got tired of the corporate industry. It was always in those type of jobs. They're always watching you with hawk eyes and you know what I mean? Micromanaging and all that. So, and I had just been working from home too long. I was let me put myself out in the world. I was very comfortable in my house,
Yeah.
One extreme to another.
Now
we get an overload of people.
No, for real. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. And yeah.
So when you guys got hired, how did that process look like?
So for me, it was pretty easy because like I said, my sister was already in the club. But I just went in and spoke to her, and she was, right up front. She was like, hey, love the personality, love the look. Let's get you started. She was very clear. She's like, I want you to have goals, and I want you to know it's not permanent, but we'd love to have you. And so really quick process, super easy. One thing I'll tell anyone that wants to get into the industry is personality and getting yourself together will probably get you the job every single time. So definitely.
How I went for me, I honestly went to go apply, fill out the application. And I've been in the industry before. I was a waitress at a different club.
Okay.
And so I already kind of had the experience there too as well. And then, yeah, honestly, the process was not long. It wasn't a hassle compared to corporate jobs. So I was yes.
And you guys have to do a lot more. Entertainers have to do a lot more than
probably us.
Than employees. But as far as getting hired, it's pretty easy once Yeah.
Did
Be
y'all have
smooth.
to do any certification things?
Yeah, you have to do, your TABC, food handlers, alcohol, all of that stuff. Just because you do have to be able to identify, how much people are drinking. Like everyone's helping everyone. So we have to know who's had what to drink, how much they've had to drink. You have to be able to read people and know, are you okay to drive? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you actually okay to enter our building? Is it a liability? You have to kind of know those things. So yeah, you do have to get certified, and then you kind of learn as you go what signs to look for.
Okay. What signs do you look for?
One thing I will say, when it's time for men to go home, they're a little bit aggressive or a little too obnoxious. I think we all know. But major signs I would look for, just physical. Can you have a conversation? I check everyone's IDs. So in that process, are you struggling? Can you have a full-on conversation? Are you comprehending what I'm saying? That's what I'm always looking for to let me know if you're okay to go into the building.
What about you, Cassie?
I would say that as well, on top of course, the dress code too. Like if they, you know what I mean? They can't be coming in there like with sweatpants and like, the shorts, like, the soft material, if that,
Yeah.
and I'm just
athletic shorts.
yeah, like, when they go in there, like what you're doing, like, come on,
Yeah,
you have to wear clothing.
Yeah.
And we're a gentleman's club, so we're also on the higher end of clubs, I would say. So appearance is everything.
For
And
sure.
even though we're not snobs, to an extent, we like to have, we want you to look a certain way. And
bougie.
Yeah,
Put together and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You belong here, that type of thing.
Yes,
So,
because our girls are bad and bougie.
yeah,
in
we
there.
have beautiful girls. I
Beautiful.
mean,
Everybody's beautiful. for
yeah,
sure.
we want both parties to have a good time. It only makes sense to come in looking your best if you want the best looking girl. So, yeah.
And bring your biggest wallet.
Biggest wallet, and make sure your fraud alert is off. We need to be able to rack it up.
Gosh.
And tip your door girls, okay? Because as soon as you enter, that's where it starts. We appreciate it.
Aw, that's so true.
Yeah.
So, like, what is y'all's absolute worst experience that happened to you being a door girl?
The one thing I'll say about our club, because like I said, it is a higher end club, I feel like we don't attract a ton of, we don't attract a ton of crazy things. But the craziest thing I think I've ever encountered was just because the area that we're in, there's just the spooks are out.
Yeah.
So you never know who's gonna come in from being out on the streets. And I've had a guy come in super, on something, drunk, whatever, and he was ready to fight me. He was ready to fight a manager, and we had these different doors before you started. And he completely just kicked one of, there were little glass squares, and he just kicked one out. But that was probably the craziest thing. But I will say the managers are so good. They pay attention to the cues. And if you say someone needs to get up here, and we have security, of course. But as soon as you let them know, they don't hesitate. They are right there. So yeah.
They're like, where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I have to say is front door and in a certain tone. And I don't question, they're on their way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For me, I would say, I'm trying to think. The craziest, I don't know if crazy, but just kind of
weird.
Yeah, a little
Oh yeah, we get the
on
spooks.
edge,
We get the spooks up there.
I mean, like she said, the area that we're at. So there's been a couple of times where, there's people that come inside, they'll try to come inside and try to apply. And, I have to go on the other side at the edge of the counter because I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to grab my, my tip jar, no offense, but,
yeah.
Just kind of, you look at their body language and how they're dressed and, I don't know if they're on something or maybe they're sick or I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm just that happened a couple of times. And I was just kind of
Or they took money from your jar?
No, because I went to the site. I was like, "You can take my money."
Yeah.
What they'll do is either they'll come in and they're super nice and respectful and they just want something to drink or a little snack, which, totally understandable. But we have like all of our little business cards and flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
And if they get mad at whatever we tell them or whatever the case may be, I have seen it too many times. They will just chunk these all over the parking lot, all over the lobby. And that's probably the craziest thing they'll do. And then they'll go about their way.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I don't think I've encountered anything crazy because, like, for the same reason, that's why I enjoy working there, because it's a gentleman's club. So we don't really attract all that kind of, you know what I mean?
Noise.
As other clubs. Yeah, no offense to any other club, but so yeah.
Yeah. So have y'all ever met a celebrity?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not a sports girl. And it's actually
I think I know
a joke between us because we get more athletes that come through than celebrities. And so they'll walk in and I'm just like, treating them as regular. Yeah. I don't know who you are. And
no, for real.
They'll be like, do you know who that is? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, no idea. I don't know if we're supposed to say the names, but yeah, we've met some pretty
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and the same thing with me. Like, I'm not gonna say for what team, but definitely for a football team for sure. And I didn't even know who they were. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, and then like literally once they entered, like, you know who that is? I'm like, no, and they're like, oh, it's so and so, and I was like, I don't know if I know who that is. Let me look it up.
Yeah. So with our club, we are a strip club, but a lot of people come because our club has a pool, a jacuzzi. It has a gentleman's feel to it. So it's not only for entertainers and entertainment and that such. It's you can go and have a good time and hang out and smoke a cigar and have a drink and have dinner and be entertained as well. So a lot of the celebrities that come in, they're not always coming for that. They're coming to just hang out and chill out by the pool and stuff. So
it's like a low-key spot, not like an actual strip club, because it's, like...
It's like
how you said, more
a strip club and a country club had a baby. And
boom.
Well, I mean, it's not like... When I think country, I think of the Lodge. The Lodge is very, like...
No, I mean country club as in, like a country club.
Country club. Like golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Where the daddies are at.
Yeah. Well, we got some daddies.
Yeah, we got some daddies. They've been hiding lately, but it's almost that season. Kids went back to school.
It's almost over.
For real, that part.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I literally cannot wait.
The summer has been
struggle.
We've been getting through it though. It's all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the next topic. I want my viewers to know, what are your responsibilities that you have to do? Is there like a checklist you go through every time you interact with someone? What does the shift look like?
Yeah, so I always, and I've told her, like, when you started training, I'm like, I've worked here 3.5 years and I learn something new every week, right? So there's not really a set list. It's day by day, but our set responsibilities every single day are basically getting the girls clocked in. Everyone that comes in the building needs to be accounted for, whether that's paying a cover, being clocked in. So that's our responsibility. As well as getting y'all's paperwork done, making sure that everything's up to date on our end. We deal with applicants. So anyone that's coming in, we're making sure they have the correct documents, making sure that everything's filled out correctly. Kind of making it, because there's so much going on and there's a lot of managers at once, but in the same breath, they're all doing something. So in my mindset is, let me get as much done for them beforehand, and that way their job is super quick and simple, and for you guys as well, so you guys can just get in there, get hired, start making money, and so yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if that answers. I'll let you kind of piggyback off that.
So besides that, of course, and then we have to count our money bag and then get that together. write down, the VIP members that come inside, make sure we're putting that down. And then I'm having a brain fart, but I know obviously what we do,
we deal with a lot of monitors, okay? Like our job's not rocket science, but we're dealing with a monitor for the girls. We're dealing with credit cards. We're dealing with cash. We're dealing with 2 different cash bags. We have our phones.
Yeah, for real.
We have our walkies. Like, we're pretty official. We have our walkies, So we're dealing with that. And then also, I mean, customers come and hang out with us all the time too.
All the time.
We have relationships with our customers as well. And actually, I think a lot of people end up gravitating to the lobby, which is really funny.
Honestly.
It's so funny because, like, we've had meetings where they're like, no one in the lobby, and the managers who say no one in the lobby are the ones in the lobby, and I laugh because I'm like, I reel them into my web because I can sit up there and yap all day long, and I would say that's probably my biggest part of the job is yapping with everybody. Yeah.
We'd be having some interesting conversations for sure, like either with the customers, the girls, and like you said, the managers, they be up there too, chopping it up. Yeah.
And I love it. I think that's how we even met, because I love people, so I love to just chat. And if you're a yapper, the industry might be for you.
We can talk. We can talk. Like, sometimes I'll just end up, I was supposed to leave, and then she's coming in, and we just end up talking. And I'm just like, the club always just like keeps me here, even though I'm trying to like leave,
It's like one big melting pot, because no one's the same in there. No one has the same walk of life in there, So it's just so interesting to see the different people, and actually how much 2 different people relate, and how much you learn from other people. So,
and people in the industry are bosses.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like really interesting to see how other bosses work, and getting involved. I mean, not all the way, but
one guy I'll never forget, and this was like one of the first people that I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, what do you do for work? And he's like, I don't work anymore. I was like, oh, how'd you do that? He's like, I invented kind of like LED lights that go on the wheels of like cars.
Okay.
He like invented that. In like 2000, whenever, a long time ago. And then he like sold it to bigger companies, and now he's like set. And I was like,
damn,
that's such a random thing to like be successful off of, but here you are.
Good for you.
So you just meet the most random but awesome people, honestly.
Yeah.
I've definitely met like a couple of Joes like that, for sure. Yeah. Where they just invented something and they're good. I'm like, okay.
And it'd just be interesting. Like, they'll tell you, not even just that, but like what they do for work. And you would not... Like, you would not know. You wouldn't have no idea. Like, they look like, I mean, obviously like a regular person, you know what I mean? They're not like really flashy. Sometimes we have our like people that are a little flashy, but most times they're not. And I'm just like, oh, okay, good for you. That's interesting,
It's not how a person looks in the industry. What kind of car did they have? What kind of credit card did they have?
No, for real.
Don't worry about the car. Don't worry about the shoes. Don't worry about the clothes. What kind of credit card do they have?
For sure. Yeah. And we be seeing the cars they pull up in sometimes, where we say we're like,
if they got a Tesla, they ain't not spending money.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
They're like, I'm rich, but this is how I stay rich. I'm not spending money.
Yeah. That's what Tesla owners be like, I swear.
Because they're super smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Save energy, save money.
Whoa. Get out of here.
So communication is obviously something essential that you need, good communication skills to work in this industry and as our positions. What other qualities do you think?
How to know, how to be able to handle like situations. I mean, again, we work at a gentleman's club, so we don't really encounter like really crazy situations. But how to handle like sometimes maybe the girls or the customers get a little bit aggressive, you know what I mean? And I've only encountered it once with one of the girls and a customer once since I've been there. So, but how to be able to handle that and keep your composure, but at the same time, like, let them know, like, how
did that situation go?
I mean, I just had to say what I had to say, and then, that was it. Kept it at that. Nothing escalated. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you definitely cannot be. I would say you can't be. You could be soft, but just not too soft. You know what I mean?
You've got to have a
Gotta speak up.
personality that can deal with, because like I said, it's a big melting pot, you know? You have people that can communicate well, and when they're angry, they can, you know, communicate that. And then you have people who just have a bad day and they can't communicate that, or they're having a great day, and you have to feed off of that. So you have to, I would say one thing that's essential for the industry is, which might sound a little cliche, but personality is everything. You've got to have one of those personalities that's open to every personality.
Yes.
Yeah, no, for
perfectly
sure.
said.
You know, you've got to be able to click with almost everyone you encounter. And my way that I work at the door is, I'm here to make the most money I can make, you know? So I typically, my encounters with people are 30 seconds to a minute, you know? If they want to stay longer and chat, cool. But I have to convince them to tip me basically off of our encounter. So it has to be a pleasant encounter. They have to feel special the minute they walk in. And I'm very genuine when it comes to that. But in the same breath, you know, you have to do that for every person that walks in. And everyone's different. You know, you can compliment a guy and say, "Oh, your eyes are so pretty."
And then my
And he's gonna, he's gonna love that. He'll tip you a 20, 100, and the next guy will walk in and he'll be like, "I bet you say that to everyone." And I know how to reverse Uno that. It's like, no, I don't say that to everyone.
Yeah,
No, just kidding. But I am an eye person. I'm always looking
for real.
But yeah,
hey, but there be some handsome men that come in here and could go in there. So you know,
I also say, because we are in such a high energy place, you've got to stay calm, and you've got to have that problem solving aspect about you as well. You know, in situations, because you are looking out for everyone. You're looking out for the girls. You're looking out for the customers. You're looking out for the managers. You've got to know when to like regulate a situation, what to do. You know, so there's a lot of situations that I don't even need to call the managers for or anything like that, because it's just like, I can deal with this here, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't get like, there's
the girls can be sassy one day and have an attitude one day, and then the next day they're angels. And it's like, you can't take anything personal, because
honestly,
we're just, you know, we're all human, and you just never know what kind of day everyone's having. So that's why I say you just got to have that personality that knows how to navigate.
And I always say, I'm like, props to the girls, anyone that is inside. Like, we're in the front, we're still inside, but like the waitresses, the entertainers, like, you know, it takes a lot. It's like a mental thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, it still is for us, the door girls in the front, but it's a lot more like one-on-one connections that you guys have to build. And like Nautica was saying, sometimes, and it did just happen to me maybe last week. One of the girls, she got snappy with me. Long story short, and I didn't take it to offense. I'm like, you know what, maybe she's having a bad day. Like, she's never been like that with me. She's always sweet. I was just like, whatever.
Right.
Brushed it off. I'm like, and you know, and then at the end when she was leaving, you know, okay, bye, have a good day. And she, you know, and the next day too, hi, good morning, how are you? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
what'd she say? Get a little snappy.
She just got a little snappy. I don't want to say what about, but
you know what?
It was unnecessary. That's just it. It was really unnecessary.
They get offended a lot of the times. The girls, they get offended because we have rules put in place that a lot of people don't understand. And one rule I'll say for our club in particular, we don't let, you know, women enter without a male escort with them.
Right.
And that's for protection for you guys. That's for protection for, you know, other things. And then it's also just like, we're exclusive in a way. So if you're not a part of the club, you can't come in here and, you know, you can't benefit off of the club. You know, you have to be a part of it. And so they can be offended, and they question it, and they're like, you're sexist and you're this, and it's like, really, look where we're at. But but it's really just like, no, we have to enforce the things that you know, it's still our job. We have to enforce these rules that our managers aren't going to come up here and explain to you every single time. You know, that's kind of on us to do. So that's where I think a lot of the like sassiness can come from, or if the girls are clocking in and they don't like something, they don't understand that, you know, hey, these aren't my rules.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, most times when we tell the girls something, it's not us making it up.
No,
you
like
know what I mean?
we have meetings and
we
they
still have to do our job. Like, we're cool and all, but we still like can't just let you get away. Like, you know what I mean? We have to let you know, because we're gonna get in trouble at the end of the day if something, you know.
And that's one thing I'll say. Our managers specifically, they're so kind and they're so sweet and they just are very understanding, but they really do expect you to just
be on it.
Be on it. Do the things that they explain to you. So if they text us, they have meetings with us, they they come and talk to us. Hey, this specifically is going on. And they really do expect you to enforce it. You know, there's some things that are just completely out of our hands, and at that point it goes to a manager. But for the most part, I'm like, if they tell us something, that's it's coming from them. We're not making these rules up. You know, we're just store girls.
We're not trying to. We're not trying to give you a hard time. We have to enforce that.
I want to have fun like you, girl.
No, for real.
So yeah.
So when you guys are doing your job and the people come in and they have you ever had to spot a fake ID or spotted one?
I have not as of yet.
So fake IDs, I will say, I had a really good fake ID, you know, and I was like 16 or 17. I don't know if that's illegal to admit, but whatever. So I know they're out there and I know they're good because mine was good. The way we're trained and the courses that we have to take when we get hired, you look the best you can, but an ID is going to tell you, sure, but you're paying attention to them. You can spot a 21-year-old.
How they look. Like,
you can spot a 30-year-old. You can spot a 16-year-old. You can spot an 18-year-old. You know, there's just maturity levels. There's just body language.
You can with like women.
I know.
Are harder.
I still know.
I feel like I mean, the longer you do it, like, you know, you say you kind of get used to the hang.
I'd rather be surprised that you are 21 than you're not.
Yeah.
So if I even get, you know, an inkling that you're not, I'll do the whole roundabout to make sure you are. You know, so I'll check the ID. You know, oh, you got kids? Oh, okay. What are you here with? You know, cool. Yeah. This, you know, asking just the random questions. Yeah. But yeah, you can figure it out. I always go based off ID though.
Yeah.
If you're not old, you're getting ID'd. And then the way our club works too, you need an ID anyways
for anyone.
If you're going to be spending big money inside. So
and then sometimes when they don't come in with their ID, and we're like, how do you not have ID? Like, you drive, like anywhere that you go, you need an ID, like an identification of some sort. You know what I mean?
I might be a little stickler too, because like there was I don't want to rat anyone out, but I think you can pay clubs, not maybe in Dallas, but I think you can pay a lot of door girls to let you in. And that's cool. I'm like, hey, you know, that's the vibe. But because of the type of club we are, and just I don't want the liability, to be honest. I've never ever been bribed. But there was this one time, this kid, he came in and he had his ID and everything. He was 21. And then he uses his ID, he goes in, and then maybe 20 minutes later, another kid comes in, and I check the ID, it's a passport. And I'm looking at the picture, I'm like, this is the same guy. And they looked almost identical. And I was looking at him, and you know, because we do it so much, it like your days can run into each other. So sometimes a customer will come in and I'm like, I don't know if he was already here, to be honest. You know, because I've seen you so many times. So
especially when they're regular. Yeah,
so I was having one of those days. I was like, was he already in here? Or like, what? I don't know, you know. But then I put two and two together. I was like, you are not going in here.
You waited for a little bit.
As soon as I told him he couldn't come in, there comes the friend that was actually 21. He came, and I was like, yeah, I caught that one.
That's funny.
Okay,
so
she's
they'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me. I mean, not as of yet. So yeah. No, sometimes they'll be trying to get away with it, like, or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but sometimes they'll try to come in and they're, of course, I check their IDs. They're 18 or 19, you know, of course not 21. And I'm just like, oh, it's 21 and older here. I'm sorry, you know. And they're just kind of like, oh, okay, we didn't know. Sometimes, you know, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, people when they were 18 used to have fun in Texas. No.
I heard, yeah.
It's 21 and up,
Which
I think
around here
is pretty good. I started dancing when I was 18, so being an 18-year-old, making that much money that I was before COVID, which was way better, like, I did a bunch of fuckery.
Yeah. I can't imagine what an 18-year-old would do in the club. Like, I mean, not like do. I'm saying you're a baby. Your mindset is so different. You're so naive. And when I was 18 and 19, I thought I knew everything.
No, for sure.
And
even when I was younger,
I did know a lot more than your average 18, 19-year-old. But still, even then, like, I can't imagine being exposed to the,
to all of that.
Yeah, to the adult industry. I mean, it's fun and everything, but it's also real.
Yeah,
it's real. It's intense. There's a lot of, there's a lot to it, and it can definitely make or break a person. And I don't think,
especially at that age,
I don't think that young women that don't have to be in the industry
do it.
I don't think it should be their first pick. You know, so I am for the regulations as far as
it's definitely 21. I feel like that's good for sure. Like you said, 18 years old, like. You're a baby. You know, like I look back when I was 18.
You're a baby, honestly.
Yeah, but like a baby when you're 18. Like you don't even, you're kind of still clueless in a way. You know what I mean? Like you may be, mature, but you're still kind of clueless to a lot of stuff. And it can either like affect you, I don't know, maybe mentally, you know what I mean? Because of what you know what I mean? What's going on in the entertainment industry for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I also think, it's so important to be, honest to an extent of what the industry is. And I would always just tell young girls, if you're going to get into the industry, just go in with a strong mind and goals, and just make sure that you have a good support system as far as friends goes, or just people that can really always keep you, your
mental good,
and keep your mental good. So that way, you
go into like a normal person.
You can feel like a normal person. You're already going into such a taboo industry that you need a support system of some sort, and you have to have some type of backbone yourself. And I think the industry can teach you a different level of confidence as well. But
for sure.
And I think that's wonderful. I think that's one of the perks of the industry. But I definitely think you should be at a certain maturity level and have goals and have just things and set up and in line before you just dive into the industry.
Or you're gonna get consumed by all
like
drama,
lost. Yeah, you definitely don't want to get lost.
The industry is so fruitful and can change your life in the best ways.
Yes.
Like I'm talking financially, the network,
the people
networking,
you meet,
networking. But it can also chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
And you'll look at yourself in 10 years and you won't know, you won't know what your likes or dislikes. You just won't know, or you'll find yourself in a place of unhappiness, even though you have, the nice car, the nice purses, the this and that. And it is sad. You do see it. And as women, I just think that it's so important for other women to be honest about that and inspire girls that do start to dance to always keep those, goals and you're starting it for a reason.
Right.
To do it the right way too, because I feel like too, like when I first started, when I got into the industry and I was a waitress, like no one told me nothing. Like I slowly was kind of like seeing how it was working, and you know what I mean, what to do, what not to do, and like you can get caught up like into the environment and
in some stuff that you didn't even realize you're getting caught up in.
Yeah,
like pimping, like,
and not everybody is your friend. Just because someone's cool with you, like it does not mean that your friend. Doesn't mean like not everybody too, right? It could be not everybody has good intentions for you. Like that's just the honest truth. But that's just anywhere. But especially in this topic, for sure. Like it's good to let, even if you can tell, like close family members or people that are not in the industry, just to that way they know what's going on, what you're into, and God forbid something happens. But you know what I mean, just for your safety too, because at the end of the day, like there is weird people, especially in this industry for sure.
You could become a word person.
Me, I'm literally a weird person.
No.
Yeah.
The good type of weird, though.
Good weird. That's what I'm like.
There's good weird.
Different types.
No. Yeah, that part. Let me clarify. There's the good weird, and then there's like not the good weird, the creepy weird, and
creepy weird.
doing a little too much. Yeah. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. It's important for sure to have a good support system.
Yeah, like I was telling you ladies earlier, and I'm guilty myself. When you get into the industry, I think a lot of us fall into the trap of like making money becomes your hobby. And like I said, I'm guilty myself. And in this economy, how is it? It's hard not to. But
yeah,
I just think you've got to find things that make you happy. And if you're artsy, stay artsy. If you're fun, stay fun. If you know what I mean, you've got to stick to your true self. And that's one thing I've been struggling a lot with this year is it's consumed me. I went into the industry with these goals, and I was like, when I saw how fruitful the industry could be, I was like, I'm gonna maximize my time here.
Right.
And I think I don't want to say I lost myself this year, because I'm very true to myself, but in the same breath, I'm like, whoa, when I started the industry, I was going to be something else at this time, then here I am 3.5 years later, and, I'm still young. I still can do all of that, but I need to go do that. I got very comfortable with just working all the time, and that's it. It's consumed me, so that's another thing I would say.
It's a good reminder, like how we were talking about it. Like even for me, I'm just like, sometimes I don't even want to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like to go out anymore because we're just in that environment.
Yeah,
we're out
party environment already.
Like I went to the doctor the other day, and she was like, you need to be fasting for this test. And I was like, okay. And she was like, so 8:00 is when this test will, because that's like the top of the morning. And I was like, oh, well, technically that's not the top of my morning. The top of my morning is like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's not normal. Your sleep schedule's off.
Yeah.
So everything that normal people do in the day, you're not doing in the day, and you're doing in your 2 days off. And then you fall behind on that because it's like.
Do you only work night shift?
I only work night shift. Yeah, I only work night shift. Unless we cover for each other,
right.
Of course. But yeah,
for each other.
I'm a night shift girl.
But I guess I'm considered, I don't know, day and night. Because I work sometimes, some days, I work in the day, and then some other days I work in the night. So, and then as it is, I have a hard time going to sleep. So, yeah, for sure, working the night too kind of like messes with my sleep.
It has its perks, but it definitely can be a little draining.
Yeah, for sure. How do you guys stay not drained?
Honestly, what I do, and even before I started working in the industry, I go, you know how like where they do like the IV bags, like for hangovers and all that stuff. But I get like a injection. It's called the mix shot. So that actually helps you for like your mood, your energy, your like, to detoxify all the bad stuff inside you. You have to look it up, but it definitely does help with your mood and your energy, and then so that's what I do normally. And it's only $25. It's not expensive because it's just a simple little injection. You know what I mean? It's all natural amino acids, so that's natural for your body. No medicine, because I try to stay away from anything that's like medicine. I'm trying to take care of myself more and stuff like that. So I normally do that, and that really helps me, especially because I work some days and then sometimes I work at night, and to get up, especially like on a Saturday, I just want to like sleep. You know what I mean? I'm just like tired. I don't want to do nothing
because the industry is based off of looks. Let's be honest. Health and wellness is actually a really big thing in there.
Sure.
Yes.
So you're gonna talk to majority of the people are semi very healthy, or they're always doing something to stay up to par. And shout out to my manager and shout out to my coworkers who have really inspired me to start really taking care of my health as well. So, like I said, I came into the industry out of the pandemic, and I think we all were a little guilty of just drinking and eating whatever in the pandemic. I don't know if you guys were, but I definitely was. And once I started at this job, and then like I said, you work at night, so you're eating with convenience. You're doing things for convenience, and I just really started to feel it, and I feel like I started to look it, and so right now I'm actually on a health journey myself, and that's kind of how I decided to stay, I don't know, together. I have them that I talk to all the time, and they mentor me a lot on health and just little things you can do. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So those were never like huge things for me, but now I just don't do any of that. And like I said, you're not on a regular schedule, so you do have to do the things like packing lunches and getting massages and getting, I don't know, spending the money on your self-care, because otherwise, like I said, you're going to exhaust yourself out and you will be tired, and it shows. It definitely shows.
Yeah, for sure, because it is based on looks like you got to keep yourself right.
Yeah,
you can
You can always tell when someone's going through something, especially because we see each other so much.
Yeah, the energy,
Yeah, you can tell. And then physically, you can just tell when people are going through things, and you can tell when they get themselves out of it. And I'm like, if you can tell when someone else is going through something, you can also tell on yourself, So it's very important to have those things that kind of reel you back in.
So how do you guys keep regulars coming back in and like putting money in your tip jar?
No, one of my favorite things to do really is I'm genuine. Like if you tell me about something, your name, don't ask me your name, because I will not remember. And that's why I was telling you earlier, I'm like, don't feel guilty, girl, because trust me, I'm so bad with names. But your face, I will never forget the details. Right. When you tell me details, I remember because I'm actually listening. And my favorite thing is like talking to a customer, and I'll be like, oh, how's your daughter's this college going? Did she get accepted to this program? And they're just like, you remember? What? You remember? They're almost freaked out. Like, how do you know that? I'm like, you told me 5 months ago on the 5th of August at 3:00 in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. But like I just being genuine and listening and really, internalizing what they're telling. And then also just they're going there for I don't want to say companionship, but like they're going there for friendship and conversation and to look at the girls, of course.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to go in there to
and they
not feel lonely.
Yeah, they also love, like, you guys are so beautiful and you guys are dancing and you guys are topless, and that's wonderful. And then I will say the one thing about being a door girl is we're the complete opposite.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, you guys get to like really capitalize off of like just your beauty and your bodies and stuff, and we get to kind of capitalize off of like
personality
and the imagination and like the tease of, babe, you might see these one day.
Before you go inside.
You're not going to see these. Never. But so that's kind of how I keep them coming back. Or they don't really come back for me. Actually, no, they do.
Yeah. You know what? You do have some guys, when I'm working, they're like, oh, I thought, Nautica was here. I'm like, I'm sorry, she's not here.
And they text
She's
me.
here tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They text me. They're like, hey, I came to see you today. And I'm like, in bed, I look crazy as hell. My hair is everywhere. I'm like, I bet you did, babe, but I'm not there. And I've told you my schedule. Like,
exactly. That is so annoying.
They always ask me. I'm like, I'm here these days, and then sometimes I remember though, but sometimes I don't.
Do you want to go to lunch? You want to go to breakfast? No, I don't.
No,
I love you. No, I don't.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I do not want to go.
So kind of a little bit what I do. Ooh, I had a brain fart right now. What was I gonna say?
Also, I'll kind of hold off on this because we're gonna go on to our next topic. But I will say too, there is somebody for everybody, and the industry teaches you that.
For sure.
Yeah. So for me personally, one thing I've realized is, I have super curly hair. I have like huge tits, obviously. I have
big boobs,
huge lips. Like, I have this huge personality.
BSL.
So I reel my customers in. Like, the ones that love this stuff, you can tell. You know, that they, when guys come into this environment, their guards drop. They don't care what their friends think. They don't care what their type is on the outside. Guys. They don't. They don't care. They're coming here to drop their guard, and like this is fantasy world in a way. It's actually reality.
To loosen up.
It's a harsh reality, to be honest.
But it's to loosen up and mellow down. Because sometimes they'll go inside for like lunch, for their lunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you came to the right place, or Now I remember what I was gonna say. So, and then they're coming like, oh, I'll ask them, like you said, I try to be genuine. I mean, I am genuine when they come in, and when they walk out, I greet them, and I try to make them feel welcomed. I feel like that's really important too, even though, it's still customer service, I guess you can kind of say, you know what I mean? So you're like showing you're giving them a first impression of the club too, what they're walking into. So I try to like greet them. I'm like, oh, welcome in, and how was your day? It's hot outside, right? I'm like, okay, you came to the right place to cool off. You know what I mean? I'll try to keep it like that. Or when they leave, oh, thank you for coming. See you soon. You know what I mean? So that way they can hopefully come back and see us too. Show everybody a little bit of love.
Not even in a flirty way. I just love men's reaction when you just tell them like off the wall shit. Like if they're walking in, I'm like, bye big daddy, or bye big sexy. They're just like, are you talking to me? Baby,
like,
I'm talking to you.
No, they love it though.
They love it. Especially the little like insecure ones, or the little quiet ones, or the ones that just don't hear it. They're coming there to hear it. So I'm like, what's up, big daddy?
They love it for sure. They love it.
So, and I'll give them little nicknames too. There's one guy, he's a cutie. He's a grown-ass man, but he walks in and I'm like, what's up, baby face? And he's like, oh, we have nicknames now? And I'm like, yeah, you just literally look like a baby. Like, since the day I met you, however many years ago, like, you just look like a baby. So every time I see you, I'm like, oh, it's baby face, So they like that because they're individualized in there,
Yeah, sure. Individualized. So, my brain went blank.
Brain fart, right? See?
I had a brain fart. Oh my gosh.
It happens to the best.
The best of us. We're the best.
Are we out of like questions?
No, we have a lot of questions.
Oh, okay.
There was a question I was gonna ask. Okay. So when girls come in and they're applying to be a dancer, do y'all ever, based off how they look, do y'all ever be like, oh, we're not hiring right now, but really, like, it's just because they don't look the par?
No, so we don't really have the authority to do so. Our owner, from my understanding, likes things run a certain way, and he still wants a level of, professionalism with everything. So he doesn't, from my understanding, he doesn't want people to come in and feel like shit just because they're not our cup of tea.
So you're still going to entertain the fact?
We kind of have to, just because, well, number one, everyone has some type of ego, and everyone thinks they can go in there and get the job. And like I said, confidence is great, but when you come in and you're not dressed and you have that confidence, it doesn't go good together. So I always, when like they call and they're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm up the road and I'm like, well, come dressed to impress. Like, you're never going to be overdressed for your interview at a strip club.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of club it is.
Definitely there as well.
And I leave that to the managers to say, hey, we're not hiring. And even the managers are kind of like,
they're like,
and I wish so badly I could be like, baby, go get your nails done, go get your toes done, go get your hair done, go get this makeup, go get this dress, and come back. And I promise you can learn the rest. You'll get the job, but you need to come back this way. But it's just not really my place. I have like there was one time like in the beginning, and I've learned my place now. But there was one time in the beginning I went out and I told this girl, I was like, girl, listen, go get your hair done, go get your nails done. Come back more confident. You're like very timid. I was like, come back and just apply again. And then even if we're not hiring,
somewhere else they'll get
somebody else really might, because we have a particular style. There's not a specific girl color, height, size, or anything like that, but we just have a particular style. Sure. There's just a particular type that we hire, and you kind of have to fit into that category.
personality.
And it's a very broad category, but you've got to fit into it. And so even if we're not hiring, there is probably someone hiring.
For sure.
You just kind of have to figure out where you
look the part.
Yeah,
you have to look the part for sure.
You got to know what you're working with. And know what environment you're going into.
You got to try to go in there confident.
And you know, some people, I mean, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? But some people don't know that they're not up to par.
Yeah.
You know, so I just
that's why you need some homegirls to be like, girl,
get it together.
Exactly. You
let me help you with this. Yeah, let me get you right.
But hey, I just met you 30 seconds ago, so I don't know how you're gonna take that. You know, so it's probably best I don't.
Yeah.
But hey, that's above my pay grade, so I'll leave that to the big dogs to say you're
to break
not
it down
up to par.
To them.
But yeah, sometimes I do wish I could be like, babe, come here.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little scrub down.
Like just fix your hair. Looks like you kind of just woke up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same thing for me. Like I'll have them, they'll call. Most times they'll call. Be like, oh, I'm just calling to see, are you guys hiring entertainers? I'm like, yeah, we're always accepting applications, this and this. I'm like, they'll ask, what do I need to bring? Or sometimes if they don't ask, I'll tell them. But, and I'll tell them, like, I will say, just come in, you know, looking, you know, top tier. You know what I mean? So
you want men to give you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 an hour, even more. I mean, the goal is to maximize when you walk into this place. If you rolled out of bed and came to apply, if you don't have your best smelling perfume, if you don't have your best hair, best wig, best everything, if you don't have your best shoes, your toenails, your nail, even as a door girl, my nails are most of the time done. Hey, they're a little grown out, but they're done because
they look cute. They look cute.
No, it'd be
but it's the little details that men pay attention to that.
They do.
So when you come into this type of environment, you have to remember, like, you're at their will in a sense, you know? And so if you are expecting it to benefit you and work out in your favor, you have to come to play the part as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.